And is it allowed to say Sadaqallahul Azim? So very often it's common, widespread among many people, that when they finish reciting Holy Quran, they end with Sadaqallahul Azim. What does that mean? Allah has spoken the truth. Whatever they read, basically affirming that whatever we read, it's Allah has spoken the truth. So we see the scholars on actually both the sides. Some say that it is allowed, and some of them they said it is not allowed. And if you look at Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen and Ibn Baz rahmatullah alayh, they were against saying this because they were very particular. They said, their argument was that this is a kind of worship, and every worship you need a proof. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, it was never reported from him, nor the Sahaba. Later on, people started it. So that was their stand. So if you find two opinions there, so it's just to mention you that fact. But all of them agree that if it is like a general matter, right? For example, somebody recites like a verse. You hear a verse like, for example, wealth and children are like a trial for you. This is mentioned in Taghabun. Wealth and your children are only a trial, and you think about your life, and then you say, Sadaqallahul Azim, Allah spoke the truth, this is really a trial. So those kind of general statements, that is, all scholars say that it is allowed, no problem with that. Yeah. So the thing is, whenever something you're seeking rewards from it, scholars were very particular. You have proof or not for that. So that's one opinion. Okay. And another thing is about dua. When we finish recitation of Quran, just maybe we read one page, it is from the etiquettes that we also make dua. It's one of the best times to make dua, because we know that we mentioned last time that whenever we read Quran, what happens? The tranquility comes in, the angels come down, the mercy comes down. So that this indicating that this is one of the best acts. So if you're in a hurry, you can just make at least 2-3 points in the duas and at least finish. But don't miss that opportunity. It's a golden chance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might accept that. So just make sure that you make dua. And also, how much should we recite daily? We will get into this when we talk about Khatm Quran a few slides later. But the frequency has to be increased a lot. It shouldn't be like you wait till Ramadan to come to read Quran. You have to read a lot. Generally once a month you have to finish the Quran. We'll get into that, but you read as often as possible, and just don't stick to reading from the book. Recite from the memory as well. And that's how you memorize more Quran as well. Minimum, I would say 1 page a day. I mean, if you're too busy, 1 page a day you have to. Definitely. I mean, it's not like fard, but it's something. That's how we get our food for the soul. And also, paying salary to Quran teacher. Many people are like, they don't have knowledge. They say that, why are you charging money for doing your thing? We have imams in a position. We have Quran teachers. We have any person who is teaching for the sake of Islam. Generally, they are given compensation. But in Islam, it is allowed. You can do that. There's no problem with it. But generally, people come and say, hey, you're doing for the sake of Allah, fi sabilillah. You should not charge money. Don't do like a business kind of thing. And, don't make profit. Your intention should be to please Allah. Don't bring in money. But any matter that we talk about, we go back again to where? We see Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, we look at what the Sahaba used to do. Can we get some clues from their lifestyle and what their strategy was? And we see something similar to this. During the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, a Sahabi, he read Quran over a sick person for some wealth. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said this, and this is recorded in Sahih Bukhari. He said, indeed, the most rightful task for which you take salary is Allah's book. So he approved that action. And also, when Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anhu, they became Khalifa, they had a salary as well given from the Baytul Mal. So, that is allowed. And also they themselves, the Khulafa, we used to have like a lot of mujahideen who used to fight in the battles. And also they were like scholars, very top scholars among the Sahaba. They were designated to certain places that your job is to teach the masses. And this is your salary, you have to do this task. So that they used to pay that salary. So we see from the history that they were given the salaries. So this is not something wrong. And even if you look at Quran, just look at Quran, we know that this verse about the zakah, how many categories do we have for giving out zakah? 8 categories, right? 8 categories. One of them is who? It's the zakah collector. One who collects zakah from different people, goes to house and house. So those amilun are they. So he has a share out of the zakah. And the scholars say even if this person is a rich man, you have to give him money out of the zakah. Because he is taking out his time, and it is mentioned in Quran, you have to give him his due. So there is no problem at all, because he is giving his time, his effort to that. If he wants to donate the money, that's up to him, but money has to be given to him. That's from the Quran. And also, it's generally understood, common sense, that having a designated person, imam, is like a fardh kifaya. Somebody has to come here and lead and, instruct people what is good and right. That is a requirement in the society. And somebody has to fill. If nobody is fulfilling that, entire community is responsible for it. So somebody, if he's doing that job, he is taking out his time, then of course he has to take care of his family himself. So that is absolutely not only allowed, but it's very highly rewarding. So don't get into that trap that few people say, it should be all fi sabilillah. That is okay. But unless, some people have this disease in their heart, they're like, want to become maybe like undue advantage from the people, then yeah, that's wrong. Otherwise, it is allowed, no problem with that. And however, there's one situation. You see sometimes that people hire these Quran reciters, probably like when somebody dies, they're like professional Quran reciters. You pay them money, they come to your house and they recite. The scholars, the unanimous consensus that this is not allowed. This is not allowed at all. You cannot allow this to happen, because now this kind of money is going in for a wrong purpose. It has to be, the reason should be always educational purpose. That's the bottom line. If it is education purpose, then the money is okay. Otherwise, it's not.